That's way blown out.
This is 5.
Okay. Jesus. All right, ready?
As ready as one can be.
All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. We're jamming tonight.
We're vibing, dog. Do you feel this?
I do.
Ah,
Feel the spirit of Jesus in you one time. Welcome to NoCo Live, NoCo FM's weekly, mostly weekly, live show that we produce here from the NoCo FM basement studios. I am your substitute host, usually on the ones and twos, but today on the, what is this?
This would be like the ones and, I wanted to say like
The ones and zeros?
Would it
I
be the
don't know.
ones and, oh my God, I love that.
On the ones and zeros, Chris Lanfear.
And I'm not on the ones and zeros because I'm non-binary.
Hey, I like that.
Kev Cat Martinez coming at you hot and gay, ready for this wonderful day. How are you doing today, Chris? How was your week?
My week has been good. It's I don't know, the last couple of weeks have been kind of funky, but I've been sick, and that always sucks.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, things have been good. How about you? How's the new job? Have you started the new job yet?
Yes, I've started it, and it's like super stressful. Like I want to do super well in it, and I'm just like overthinking and panicking myself out. You ever feel that? Like
For sure, and I think that's normal with a brand new job, like a lot of new procedures and whatnot to figure out, and a lot of new things to learn. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and like the weight of what I'm working with is like crushing my soul already, and it's been 2 days. So I'm ready. I'm ready to die.
Ready to die like Notorious B.I.G.?
Yes, 100%. I love it when they call me Big Papa.
Who doesn't?
Honestly. Hey, Charles, how you feeling today?
Charles, unfortunately, got held up at his day job, the one that pays him money, so we can't fault him for that. But in his place, I'd like to introduce our good friend Donatello here, who's representing the spirit of Charles, even though he's not dead. For tonight's purposes, he basically is. So sorry about that, Charles, but we will never forget you.
Rest in peace, Charles.
Rest in peace.
I hope you get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you get stuck at work, and I mean, he works in Loveland, which is a good 25-minute drive from here.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the roads are terrible. The weather is awful. Hopefully, wherever you're seeing this from, you're warm, because it is not warm here. We have 2 space heaters that you can probably hear in the microphones, but they can't see off camera, that are keeping our studio warm.
Which is a shame, because they are mad sexy, mostly because they're keeping me warm, and I enjoy that.
Yes.
I don't fucks with cold. I get very much like a lizard. I'm like, this is it. This is the end of my life.
Yeah.
This is how I go.
So would you rather like freeze to death or like burn alive?
Burn alive, hands
Burn
down.
alive.
Because every time I get a fever, I get close to that. Because I'm like, no, I will not be cold during my fever. And if you have a fever, everything that is not the temperature you are is freezing. Or at least that's what I experienced.
Sure.
So when we were in Texas, I used to sit in like the car in the middle of the day with like no AC. The car wouldn't be on, with a blanket around my shoulders, and I was like, yeah, this is good. This is
In
what
Texas,
I wanted.
where
Yeah.
the heat is already like sweltering.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Because I was like, this is
God.
where I'm safe. It's true. Gays do go to hell. That's why we handle heat so well.
Ah, that's why. Okay, I like it.
That's actually not true because Circus is an absolute child when it comes to heat.
Really?
The second it gets a little bit too warm, he's like, "No,
I
I'm
don't
dying."
I don't do well with heat. I have to keep things fairly regulated. Like
Right.
it's rare that like if you come, I mean, you're at my house a lot. Like it's rare that it's more than 70 degrees. It's usually like 68 or 69. 69. But hey,
Sucks number.
but I usually have to keep it there because if it gets like in my office when I'm like at the day job, if it gets above like 73, I'm roasting and I'm dying and I just want to pass out.
I feel that.
So, but at the same time, I don't like it to be cold. If it was like 45, I'd be miserable.
Oh yeah, certainly. But the thing is, when I'm at work, if the heat drops to 68, I'm like, why are you trying to freeze me? Why are you ruining my day?
So then what's your ideal temperature?
Probably like a comfortable lounge temperature would probably be like 72.
72.
70.
All right.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable there, but like I wouldn't mind going up to 80. Maybe not in my
Ooh, 80.
house.
80, I would probably die. I don't know. I don't think I could do 80.
James
At least not
knows.
for a sustained period of time. Plus, like, summer is kind of bullshit for me because if I go out in the heat, I'm outside for longer than like an hour, I burn instantly. Like there is
Oof.
no such thing as a tan for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How
it's.
upsetting.
I mean, it's one side of my family is like very like European mutt, and the other side is Native American and Hispanic. So the genes for this skin are just fucked when it comes to anything other than just burning alive.
Right.
When I was in high school, I worked for this city as a swimming instructor. And so the way that it works is like you're assigned to a class or multiple classes, and each class was like 3 weeks. And my first assignment was at City Park Pool, and they would rotate you around between that pool, Mulberry Pool, and Epic. And my first posting was at City Park, and I got second-degree burns my first day.
I was gonna make a joke, but that's fucking horrible.
It was
Holy
really awful.
Shit.
And so I had to do the rest of the classes in a t-shirt because
you were country fried.
I was chicken fried steak that nobody wanted that got left out in the sun way too long.
You leave it on the concrete and it gets extra dried out, and it's just like end me.
Pretty much. I would have prayed for a quick death at that point, but I was only 16, so I suppose it's a good thing that didn't happen.
I had a friend who was telling me a story in high school during art class once, and she goes, "Yeah, I was like swimming to the bottom of this pool to get this comb, and the air was leaving my lungs, and I thought to myself, 7 years old, yeah, this is how I died. It's been a shitty life." And I was like, "Dude, you good?"
When you're 7?
Yeah.
Damn. Hopefully there's nowhere to go but up from there.
Right.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, literally, because they were at the bottom of a pool.
Well, hey, you are full of them tonight. I
I'm
love it.
on it.
See,
That
this is
dad
what happens when
energy.
we go 2 weeks without a show. You're just coming out, be blasting with both barrels.
You got it, bitch. I'm a double singer.
I like it.
I was gonna make a joke about that, but I don't got one.
It's okay. But you're on a roll anyway. So we do not have a Charles's Energy Drink Corner tonight. However,
But we have Kev Cat's Corner of Chaos.
Kevcat's Corner of Chaos, KKK. Oh, no.
Oh,
Never
God,
mind.
No, Corner of Chaos with a C, dog.
With a C. And because we're classy, we have wine glasses and boxed wine.
Yes. And as I pour this box wine, I'm gonna tell you, Chris,
Yes.
when I was coming up with like what I want to do tonight, I was thinking, you know what? This is super duper cheap and it's super duper lovely and enjoyable, and that would be a wonderful way to end this, right? Of course. But I was like, oh man, wine really could use something extra. So I bought Birdie's Bots Beans from Harry Potter. Now,
So you're going to have to explain to me what these are because I'm not a Harry Potter person,
okay.
much to my girlfriend's chagrin, but
Oh man, I'm gonna make a Potterhead out of you, but we're not gonna give any money to J.K. Rowling while doing it because
no.
she's a turf.
We are going to pirate all that shit.
Exactly. Honestly, Steal from the rich. Anyway.
Well, Lynn already has like the DVDs and stuff, so I suppose I can
Perfect.
get around it that way.
That's what I'm doing too, because like I've had them since I was a kid, and same with the books. But so in the movie, there's Bertie's Bots beans, which are these basically jelly beans, and they're any flavor. They're like anything.
Okay.
So some of the flavors will include cinnamon, cherry, candy floss, earwax, booger, blueberry, black pepper, banana. We got sausage, marshmallow, rotten egg, green apple, and you won't know which one it is until you put it in your
I
mouth.
really love it when that happens. I really hope I get the marshmallow. Though I'm
Right?
intrigued by the idea of a sausage jelly bean.
Right, honestly. So, and the thing is, these got so out of hand that they were making so many different kinds. There was a game where they made them look exactly the same, but one was like apple flavored and one was grass. And you got to like spin this wheel and it picked the color of the bean, and you hoped that you didn't get fucking skunk. If you've ever eaten the skunk bean, you know the pain I'm reliving in my brain right now. It is literally the most disgusting bean I've ever put in my mouth. And on that
You're
note,
not selling these well.
and on that note,
more than a little afraid.
I'm not even going to tell you the worst part. Actually, I am, because I don't think it's in this one. Okay.
Lynn says, hopefully you don't get vomit flavored. They're disgusting.
Oh, God damn it. You ruined the surprise.
Oh, fuck. Well, that's
I'm
not too much of a
picking-
stretch.
I'm not picking one out, though. So what we're going to do
One fell
is-
between your legs there.
It's fine. Don't worry about
That's
it. That
cool.
one's going to go to the side.
Nice.
All right. Now, take a hand. There's a couple of beans in each hand. So you still have a chance to get a good one, even if you pick a
Can I
hand
be
with
a
bad
conscientious objector?
one. No.
Can I just silently protest the war by not participating?
Absolutely not.
Well, it usually hangs to the left, so I'm going to go.
All right, there you go.
My left,
there
not
are
your
your
left.
3 beans.
I have to eat all 3 of these?
We're gonna eat them one at a time,
Oh,
and
God.
trust me, you're gonna want to take a small bite. Okay, and this is why we got the wine. Ready?
I have a feeling we're going to
let's
need
show the
something
camera.
stronger
Can
than
we show
white
the
than
camera?
green.
I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
Kind of. Okay, so these are our beans and our poison, and I'm not letting him see the box, so he doesn't know which one he's about to eat, and I don't remember which ones they are. I might. Well, there's one that I recognize. I'll be honest, but okay. Are you ready? Pick your first bean.
All right. Okay, I'm going to pick the gray one. The one
Yes.
that looks like a rock.
Perfect.
Are the colors in any way indicative?
Yes, they are. That's why I'm hiding the box from you.
Oh, shit.
That's
All right.
So we're gonna show. I got this like splatter one that's super pretty, and he's got this charcoal one. Are you ready?
And just a
Small bite.
small bite.
Small bite off the top.
All
Ready?
right.
And are you experiencing it? What are you thinking?
It tastes like
ASMR.
pepper.
Black pepper. That's
Okay.
what you got.
All right.
Do you want to finish the bean?
You know what? It's not horrible. I'll finish the bean.
I got tutti frutti, so I ate the whole bean. I got lucky. All right, ready?
Oh, so they're not all gag ones.
No, there's good ones in it. That's why this
Actually,
game became such a crapshoot.
The black pepper isn't bad.
Right? I actually kind of enjoy some of the weird ones. I'm gonna try the black pepper. real
I
quick.
like the it's got like obviously kind of a savory, peppery flavor to it. I don't
But
know what
it
to say other
starts
than that.
sweet. It like starts. Sweet.
It's a little sweet. Yeah, it's
Oh, that's really good.
it's
That's
it's
eating
like
a
it's
steak.
like a scotch. There's like layers to it.
You're right. Oh, I did.
And
enjoy
I'm
that.
gonna kick myself for just comparing that to scotch, probably with whatever the next one I eat is, but that's okay. So I see that people are watching us, guys. Say hello on the chat. What's going on? How's your Monday night? How has your February been so far?
And watch as I torture Chris with magic beans. All
Magic
right.
beans.
So which
Hold
one
on,
are
I
you
need
gonna
a
pick
palate cleanser of my Boda Box Pinot Grigio here.
now? I did the same thing. Enjoy your Pinot Grigio.
This
do you
episode of
think of the
NoCo
wine?
Live is brought to you by Boda Box Pinot Grigio.
Boda
Look for
Box.
the box that says Boda Box.
It's got this really cute like picture on the side. This is not sponsored, but it could be.
It could be Boda Box. Give
Hit
us a
us
call.
up. Aren't we the people you want representing your company? Yes.
Oh, Lost Under Space. Hey, I'm sitting in front of a space heater staying warm. So are we.
Same.
If we had more than one camera set up right now, I would pan around and show you the space heaters in the studio that are just out of frame. But rest assured, our feet are toasty.
Oh yeah, pretty
But
warm
like
up
from
in
here
the
up, we're like freezing. But at least our lower bodies are warm.
Right,
Which
we're
is really all that
skating.
matters.
And which color are you selecting next?
Oh God.
Dude,
I'm scared of this. Like, honestly, I have a feeling this is the booger because it looks like a fucking booger.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the orange one.
I'm gonna go with the one that kind of looks like a kidney stone. Bottoms up. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Tink.
I'm so scared. I have to take another bite because I can't tell.
Okay, so that's a familiar flavor, but I don't know what it's supposed to be. What is it?
I'm hoping it's not the one I think it is, man.
What is it?
Can I see it? Is it just orange?
It's just
Solid?
it's straight up
It's
orange.
Solid orange. Do they have it hidden?
It looks like someone's tooth and they haven't brushed in like 25 years.
Nice. Thanks for that, dog.
Yeah.
So, honestly, the only orange one on here is vomit. But there's no color flakes in that.
No, it's solid orange.
What does it taste like?
I can't really place it. You tell me.
Okay, hang on. I gotta
This
figure
is
out
not a
what
trap.
just
I don't
ate.
know what it is. Yeah?
Guess who got earwax?
Oh.
Hey. So don't eat the ones that look like kidney stones. I'm gonna drink some of this real quick. Okay. I'm just gonna pop this whole thing in my mouth. Jamming.
Totally Jimin.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Jim, whoever you are. I
What
feel like
is
I should have
that?
moved the trash can closer to the desk here.
Dog, straight up, I think you ate vomit and liked it.
I didn't like it.
Okay, it's fucking weird. We need the trash can because I'm not gonna put this back in my mouth. Hang on.
Just set it over there or something.
Okay. I'll be right back. Oh, no, we got tissues.
This is what happens when Charles isn't here. Everything just goes straight to hell.
At least it's entertaining.
It's got to be entertaining, you know. I mean, there's a reason why people watched 14 Jackass movies, you know. Are you okay?
Why does it taste like cheese?
It does taste a little bit like cheese.
We're good. I'm solid.
I want to remind you that this was your idea.
Yeah, and I like to be in pain. Anyway, I'm gonna take another palate cleanser. Okay.
Yeah, that's got a kind of a nasty aftertaste to it.
Oh, that's what's getting me. It's like the kickback where you're like, huh. Because that's how the earwax got me. Because I was fine with it for a minute, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I guess it kind of tastes like a little musky. And then I read the box, and it goes, oh yeah, that's what you're tasting.
And that's when your mind goes, nope.
Nope. Anyway.
Okay, so we have one more of
We have
these.
one
I
more.
don't know if I want to do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna be a family because I have a special surprise after we finish this last bean.
Please let it be a slow death. Uglife
What a
87,
slow
we
one.
are drinking Boda Box Pinot Grigio.
Boda box.
The official box wine of NoCo FM. Not actually sponsored, but it could be if someone from Boda Box is watching. So yeah, we're drinking Boda Box Pinot Grigio and eating these nasty Harry Potter.
Birdie bots.
I was gonna say gummy worms, but they're not gummy worms. They're jelly beans.
Phil nightmares. They're just not. Oh God, I know. Which
They are
one.
nightmare
I
beans.
know what this is. I know what it is because it's the only green one, and I don't want to put it in my mouth.
Knowledge is power.
I'm going to. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Okay, ready? You got your green one. I got my green one.
I got my booger looking one, which I suspect is boogers.
Let's die together. I want you to try this one too. Yep.
Oh, that's gross.
Wait, tissues. Here you go. Just spit it right in the box.
That box is empty. Oh. Oh. No. I'm not going to do it.
It's not as bad as I remember it.
Okay, so what was the one I just ate other than death?
Yeah, that was Defo Burger G. That was Defo Burger G.
That was nasty. That was
I'm so sorry for your loss.
quite possibly one of the most disgusting things I've ever put in my mouth.
And I just ate grass. Not as bad as I remember it.
Grass?
Yes, grass.
I'm eating booger and you got grass?
Yes. I got earwax before you, though.
That's true. You did get earwax.
But you did get vomit.
Ugh. And yeah. So
now that we've survived, we have our Boca box wine.
Boda box.
Yeah, that's what I said. And then
Boca
to
Raton
close
box.
out Kev Cat's Chaos Corner. See, there's 4. Kev Cat's
Cat,
Chaos
yes.
Corner.
4Ks.
No.
Or 3Ks and a C?
2 Ks and 2 Cs.
Okay.
Okay. We have a very special treat. Now, who would make you happiest? Like, maybe they would make you a happy little friend or a happy little treat.
Bob Ross flavor?
Bob Ross mints. They're happy little trees, and they're the best thing that's ever been given to me. And I can't wait for you to see these because they're just so precious.
Are they little
They're
trees?
little trees.
Yes.
Aren't they great?
Holy shit.
I love them.
They look
so
like they could
much.
easily take out someone's eye.
Right? They're so
They're
great.
like tiny little pointy weapons.
So take a couple of those.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob Ross. In death, you are still watching over us.
Right, saving our asses just in time with these happy little trees. And yep, so that would be the end of Kev Cat's Chaos Quarter.
Okay,
Cheers.
those are delightful.
Yes, so that. I
Although
got
anything
something
would be
wonderful.
after the vomit
and booger and earwax.
booger stuff.
No, that was so gross. Your booger is still over here. I'm gonna
This
throw it away.
is
'cause I
what
don't wanna
happened.
look
See,
at
this is my recurring theme. This is what happens when Charles isn't here. The show turns into a fucking episode of Fear Factor, where it's like, okay, you have to eat live spiders.
it. Don't put it past me. I love Fear Factor. Fear Factor was
I
like
loved
the one show I used to
I
watch with
loved
my dad.
watching Fear Factor, but I would never want to be on Fear Factor, especially not if it's my own fucking show. That's never gonna happen.
If I have a choice, we out this bitch. Do you want another tree before I put these away?
I want like 10 more trees.
Please take as many trees as you'd like. I'll just leave it here.
Yeah. So,
They're
what,
so nice.
what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about this week?
Well, let's see. I had this idea because a lot of things are judged just simply off of appearance from the get-go. I wanted to make a fucking game out of it and see what you think.
Okay.
I want to pull up a picture of a book on Amazon, and we're just gonna look at the cover and we're gonna guess what it's about.
Okay. Is this a specific book you want to look at, or am I
Nope.
like Googling?
We're gonna Google book on Amazon that neither of us know, and then we're gonna guess what the cover's about. Like just by looking at the cover, we're gonna write a little.
Okay, so I'm gonna try searching for a random Amazon book. Let's see what we can find.
Do. How are you guys doing this week? What's jingling your chain?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna elaborate on what that means as a question. What's jingling your chain? I got to show a really cool person my drawings, and they were super dope about it. I'm not going to elaborate on that either.
You're like, here are all these things. I'm not going to elaborate on them. Actually, because I'm not coming up with too much on Amazon yet, so let's come back to that. But I do, while we're
Fair.
talking about showing stuff to people online, I wanted to point out, I'm going to bring it up here on the screen.
Go ahead.
This was a tweet we got a couple of days ago from @HappyVolpe saying, "Hey NoCo FM, I'm currently listening to the January 24th episode of Gadio, and it's like being hit over the head with a hammer made out of feelings, radical acceptance, and guitar riffs. It's amazing. Thank you so much."
I can't believe they liked it that much. I like, you said that to me the other day.
Yeah.
And I cried. I was like, what? Somebody enjoyed my show enough to write shit like that? I was freaking out.
Wasn't that super cool?
That was
I mean,
super cool.
and that's what's most rewarding about doing this is certainly not the $0 we're making from it, but the the fact that the things we're doing are touching people.
Yeah.
And that's super, super cool because honestly, like when Charles and I started this, like that's all we wanted to do was, create stuff that people dug, that made people feel included, that made people feel like they were important and that they mattered. And, the fact that we get some feedback like that is super, super cool. So happy Volpe. We love you. Thanks for reaching out and hope you listen to more Gadio. Because every show, and I'm going to wax your car a little bit here for a second, is put together by KevCat himself, by himself, coming up with all the tracks every single week, producing the interludes, like all of that is coming from this wonderful person's brain right here. And it's just really cool to see that people are digging that.
Dog. Man, you're going to make me cry on the fucking radio show. Okay. Well,
It's all
really
good.
dope.
It's all good.
Oh my God. Can I tell you about something that really got to me the other week?
Do it.
I played a new artist on my station, Kill Sky, who I found on TikTok. And I thought her shit was pretty good, and she's super duper funny. And she was so excited to be on my show that she got her friends together, and she was like, "When does my song play? When does your show play?" And she listened to it live and posted on her Instagram story.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, her freaking out while it played, and me announcing her name and shit. And I was like, I cannot believe that somebody else felt like that listening to my show.
That's super cool.
And she wants to be. I'm probably gonna have her in the studio sometime. Well, not in the studio because she's in LA, but
right. In
on
the
an
virtual
episode.
studio. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Next week. So
That's
super
super great.
exciting. And she was so stoked, and I was like, "Fuck."
That's great. That's the other half of it too, is bringing exposure to new voices, to new artists, to people that aren't getting commercial radio airplay. Like if you listen to our radio stream, and there's a quick plug for it, but if you listen to our radio stream, you're not going to hear Mumford and Sons. You're not going to hear
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Or Yummy by Justin Bieber.
You're not going to hear anything by fucking Justin Bieber. Corbin would have a conniption fit. Maybe for April Fools. We have been known to do some weird shit on April Fools.
Dude, Stradio is still, I stand by Stradio.
Stradio was great. So we did an episode of NoCo Gadio, which fell on April 1st as Stradio.
Shout out to Christian for hosting.
Yeah, which was great. So it was just basically the opposite idea of Gadio, turned up to 11. So that was a lot of fun.
We opened with either Creed or Nickelback. I can't remember.
It was Nickelback because even in the description for the episode, it was warning, opens with Nickelback.
It was pretty fucking good. Corbin's fucking New Year's shit always gets me. He not New Year's shit, April Fool's.
Yeah.
That always gets me.
We're already talking about doing some stuff for this year, so we'll see.
Ooh, I like the whole host switching thing.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that was
My name's Charles Kelly.
that was one of the other things we did. Is so if you listen to the radio stream, and that's not a plug, it's just necessary for the explanation. If you listen to the radio stream, like any other radio station, between songs and between shows, there's little promos for different things we're doing and other shows on the station, and we basically re-recorded everybody's promos with different hosts as the other host. So, for example, Corbin was Stephanie James doing the promo copy from The Spark with Stephanie James.
I'm Stephanie James.
And Stephanie was Corbin, so she did Corbin's bit, and we played those on April Fools as well. So you can, if you want to, you can go back and listen to that show in the archives. It's under NoCo FM specials. But yeah, that sort of stuff is a lot of fun to do, and
So much fun.
we need to do more stuff like that.
For real. I want us to have more radio show parties, because radio station parties, because now I actually am in a position where I can actually make time for other things and people.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be able to I don't know, connect with people. I will never ever forget having drunk Corbin and drunk Stephanie in the same room. The chaotic energy was unmatched. It was amazing.
It really
Stephanie
was.
At a fucking 15 out of a scale of 5. It was amazing.
You talking about when we were at PodCon?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
She's like under the table losing her mind.
Hey, what
She
what
comes out
happens
and
in
makes out with me
Seattle
on the fucking
stays in
porch. It was
Seattle,
great.
right? But yeah, like yeah, when we went to PodCon, that was a lot of fun. And there is no more PodCon, unfortunately. Like they're not doing any more of those because they didn't hit the revenue goals that they needed. But yeah, I do want to do more stuff to like kind of unite us as a team and as a family, because like that stuff's a lot of fun. And it really kind of helps build the sort of family motif that we're all trying to do here. So I did find an Amazon book that was relatively random. It's not anything I know anything about. So let's take a look here. This is When We Believed in Mermaids,
Ooh,
a novel by Barbara O'Neill,
nice. Okay.
author of The Art of Inheriting Secrets.
Ooh. Okay. So, for those of you who are listening to the audio version right now, this cover is basically a sunset on a beach where you can't see anything but the silhouettes of two people walking away. And I'm going to say right now, this shit gay as fuck. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is a story of a lesbian and her lover. Like,
That does appear to be two women.
yes. Oh, fuck. Look at me nailing it. Also, there's seagulls in it as well.
Oh yeah, there are some seagulls, and they seem to be flying awfully low. I thought seagulls only fly low when someone's about to die.
Oh, shit.
Or am I confusing that with some other bird?
Yeah, that's a different bird. But I was gonna live in your fantasy for a minute. I think.
Sorry, I'm
it's
not
either
a member of
close.
the the Arbor Day Foundation or whatever. I don't know shit about birds.
I don't know shit about birds. Can
I don't.
make you that as a T-shirt?
We
I
could.
just want that so bad. But anyway, so we believed in mermaids. I think it's gonna be like a story of these two girls that grew up next to each other, and like the beach was always their safe haven, and like maybe life got crazy, and maybe they grew apart a little bit, but they always had the beach, and they gotta remember that they believed in mermaids. Because lesbians love mermaids. Prove me wrong. You can't.
Is that true? Do lesbians love mermaids? I mean,
I feel
it's
like-
certainly
I
possible.
feel like everybody loves mermaids.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. There's like, everybody loves like the Little Mermaid and shit.
Right.
And like that's fine. Although,
That's fine.
I
Don't
mean,
say like.
I know that sounded really condescending, didn't it? I'm just like, that's fine if you like those stupid things.
Yeah, you. It's okay if you love those stupid fucking wastes of time mermaids that are never gonna be fucking real. Yeah, I bet you live in your mom's basement, don't you?
Though what's funny is, now on Mondays at 7, Corbin versus the World plays instead of on Fridays, which means you're now anchoring our Friday lineup.
Holy shit.
But that notwithstanding, on tonight's episode that literally aired 2 hours ago, Corbin has a whole bit about how basically there was this story about there are people trapped on a cruise ship because of the coronavirus outbreak.
Oh yeah.
And they're at the port in, I want to say, New Jersey somewhere, and they were creating like YouTube and TikTok videos asking Trump for help and stuff. And Corbin basically went on a rant that basically said, boats are stupid. If you declare your allegiance to the sea, then you deserve what you get. Anyway, it is a fantastic show. It'll be hitting podcast tomorrow morning, so
Can I
check
just
out
say you
that
kinda
episode.
Nailed that Corbin impression just then. I was like, what the fuck? That was him. But anyway, what do you think When We Believed in Mermaids is about?
When We Believed in Mermaids, I see it as two women remembering the time that they believed in mermaids because they killed them in the past.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I think they're walking back towards the water to finish the job. Because the time they believed in it was when they were real, until these two bitches capped all the mermaids.
Can you send this to me so I can draw that?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Fuck. Okay. Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer, and that, I think, to go back to my not knowing shit about birds, that's why the seagulls are flying so low, because and see, there's a lot more seagulls on the ground there. They're
more
trying to
than
create a
belongs.
barrier between the women and the mermaids. but it's not working out because all those mermaids are gonna die.
Because under that shawl, she got a fucking harpoon gun. She ain't come to fuck around.
I think one of them's got a harpoon gun. In fact, I think you can kind of see her carrying, like having it cocked back a little bit. And then I think this chick's got a bow and arrow.
Okay. I have to.
Oh my God, you're eating more of these.
No, I have to find you one because the cinnamon one is super bomb.
The which one? Cinnamon one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I like me some cinnamon.
It's really good. But anyway, so do you want to read to us, or do you want me to read it? What it's actually about?
Oh, the actual synopsis?
Yup.
Sure. Let's pull it up here. Where does it go? Review blow about the
Author. Scroll down.
Where's the actual synopsis? I really hate Amazon sometimes.
Go back up. Look at us being super confident.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Her sister has been dead for 15 years when she sees her on the TV news. From the author of The Art of Inheriting Secrets comes an emotional new tale of two sisters, an ocean of lies, more like an ocean of death, and a search for the truth. Josie Bianchi was killed years ago on a train during a terrorist attack. Gone forever. It's what her sister, Kit, an ER doctor in Santa Cruz, has always believed. Yet all it takes is a few heart-wrenching seconds to upend Kit's world. Live coverage of a club fire in Auckland has captured the image of a woman stumbling through the smoke and debris. Her resemblance to Josie is unbelievable and unmistakable. With it comes a flood of emotions, grief, loss, and anger that Kit finally has a chance to put to rest by finding the sister who's been living a lie. After arriving in New Zealand, Kit begins her journey with the memories of the past, of days spent on the beach with Josie, of a lost teenage boy who'd become part of their family, and of a trauma that has haunted Kit and Josie their entire lives. Now, if two sisters are to reunite, it can only be by unearthing long-buried secrets and facing a devastating truth that has kept them apart for far too long. To regain their relationship, they must kill all the mermaids.
That's not what it says. That is not what it says, you bastard. We were both fucking wrong.
We were both way off base.
Hey,
which,
don't
if
fuck
you've
your sister.
which, if you've ever watched this show, is not abnormal for us.
Nope. I actually have one for you that I want you to guess.
Okay.
Okay, and you can talk about something else while I look it up.
Okay.
So why don't you tell me about what's going on in your life and your week?
Well, one thing I wanted to talk about is at the last show or the last episode of this show that we did, we talked about Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
And I noticed, I don't want to say anyone else made this mistake, but I feel like I made this mistake. We were talking about his death and the tragedy and all that, and I don't remember exactly who said it or how it came up, but we started talking about how there was a sentiment that he was anti-gay or anti-LGBT or somehow big, and we kind of just ran with it because that's what we do on this show. After the show aired and after the podcast came out, I started thinking about it some more, and nobody brought this up to me. There wasn't someone like wagging their finger being like, hey, I'm mad about this, because we don't have enough viewers to get that sort of response. But I did start looking it up and realized that was actually not the case, and that it stemmed from a gay slur that he made almost 10 years ago. And it was something that he said in the heat of the moment during a basketball game to a referee. And by no means does that excuse the slur at all. But based on subsequent research, I was able to look up like that he learned from that and took steps, later on to not repeat those sorts of things. And when people did that in his presence, he took steps to correct them. So I actually felt really bad about that. So much so that I posted a correction after the episode aired about that. And it's a weird thing because like this show, obviously we're just kind of fucking around eating, booger jelly beans, but I do still feel, even though we're not trained journalists by any means, right, I do still feel a responsibility to make sure that when we are talking about real things like that matter to people, that we are at least trying to get our facts straight. So I don't really think that was anyone's failing other than my own.
So
Because ultimately, like, everything that we put out, under the NoCo FM comes down to me and Charles. So it wasn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but I also think that as we're growing, hopefully into something larger than where we're at now, that we take that responsibility seriously and take the extra effort to make sure we're not like spouting off shit that's not true.
So I do agree with you, but I do want to say that when we were in the moment, we didn't bring it up ourselves. It was somebody commented on it,
Yeah.
brought it up in this chat, and we didn't, like, we just went off the information that was presented to us, and we didn't necessarily say that he was homophobic. We said that if he was homophobic, and we operated under the belief that what they were saying was true.
Right.
And the correction was a good move. I 100% agree. I also agree that as I know we're not journalists, but as people who are reporting on news, even mentioning the fact that he did say that, like you said, and there was that issue, he did correct it, including all of that information. Even the bad bits is still important.
Sure.
And like, yeah, we could have gone about it a lot better, but and actually like known about it beforehand. But since we didn't, and the only form of information we had about it was somebody commenting and kind of getting pissed at us for talking about him. They probably didn't have the full story. They probably only had a little bit and thought that they were correct in the way that they presented it.
Sure.
Which is totally fine. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think given the circumstance, like we did the best we could with it, and we did the best we could after it happened and after we realized the error. So I'm not, it's just definitely something to keep in mind going forward. As you've probably realized if you've watched or listened to this show at all, we don't do a whole lot of research before we go live. We sometimes have a general idea of what we want to talk about, and sometimes there's a news article or something that sparks it. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make this big so you can't read it.
Oh.
Oh no, I can't make this for you. Never mind. This won't work. This one won't work.
Okay.
I'm a failure.
It's okay. You're not a failure. But so yeah, that's just one of those things. But I think going forward, it's something for us to keep in mind, because I do want us to get to a point where even though we're not a news organization, and I don't think we ever will be really, I do think that to a certain degree, we want to have some journalistic integrity in terms of what we present and what we say. And as a good example, there are episodes of other shows of ours that I'm not going to name right now that have not aired, fully produced episodes that we have not aired because we were not comfortable with the subject matter, or it seemed a little too far-fetched, or a little too snake oil for me to feel comfortable supporting. So I do take that very seriously. So it's not anything that's keeping me up at night, but it is definitely one of those things to keep in mind going forward. What do you got on the Amazons here?
I found one.
Found one. Let's look at it.
So this is also one that I don't know.
The Perfect Wife. A Josie Hunt. Oh.
Yeah, let's not look at that because that could ruin our guess.
Okay.
But so don't zoom in on the tiny text.
Okay, got it. That's not much of a cover though.
Right?
I mean,
Exactly.
it's just a silhouette of a chick with what I'm guessing are collagen injections.
But we both read books, right?
Yes.
So based off of the cover of this book, what do you think the tone is?
I'm guessing it's a thriller.
Right.
A thriller about either Uglife's saying, look up the book Bloodbound.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck the perfect wife.
Well, hold on. Let's finish this real quick, because I think this is going to be fast. This seems to me to be kind of a generic thriller about either a woman who is unfaithful, perhaps, or a man who's unfaithful, and it seems to be kind of like the killer wife trope sort of thing, which I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's my read on it. What do you think?
I think it's about a woman who finds out that she is in fact descended from the warriors from the Cat novels, and she has to figure out how to blend in and be the perfect wife and the perfect human in order to hide her identity, which is why most of her face is hidden because she's
Oh.
turning into a cat. I use
Just like James
science-
Corden. Yeah.
I use
Okay.
science and logic.
So what is this
come up with-
actually about? Psychological suspense thriller. And considering that they're saying Jesse Hunt in here, I'm assuming that's a character in a long-running series of books.
Oh, really?
That'd be my guess. Criminal profiler in training Jesse Hunt is sure she's finally put the darkness of her childhood behind her. She and her husband just moved from a cramped downtown Los Angeles apartment into a Westport Beach mansion. How does that work? Kyle's promotion. Oh, here we go. Kyle's promotion has them swimming in money, and she is on the verge of getting her master's in forensic psychology, the last step in her dream of becoming a criminal profiler.
Oh, that's dope.
But soon after that, Jesse begins to notice a series of strange developments. The neighbors all seem to be hiding secrets. The mysterious yacht club Kyle is
Wait.
desperate to join is rife with
Wait.
cheating spouses and with troubling rules of its own. And the notorious serial killer being held at the psychiatric hospital where Jesse is completing her degree seems to know more about her life than is normal or safe.
Ooh, okay. So do you think it's like the person who's losing their shit is gonna take over her life?
It's possible, or this person is actually someone from her past that she doesn't know or blocked out or something.
What if it's her?
It's actually her?
What if
and she's schizophrenic?
Like, schizophrenic and she's seeing a hallucination of herself. That'd be kind of dope.
That would be kind of cool.
That
I'd be
would
all right with
kinda
that.
Super sick. So when I first started reading, like, are you a big reader?
No, I here's what happens. I go to Tattered Cover or I go to Bazaar and I buy books that look interesting, and then it takes me approximately 10 years to read them.
Bitch, you calling me out too. I feel you. I understand.
There is a pile of books upstairs that I will get to one of these days.
Fucking, I understand. Okay.
Okay, so Uglife, you're gonna have to tell me here for Bloodbound. Are you talking about Bloodbound, a Lowrance vampires novel? Is that the one we're looking
Or
at
the
here?
one that's just called Bloodbound.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a TV show.
Oh, shit, my bad.
But yeah, so this is Bloodbound by R.J. Blaine. So tell us if that's the right one.
But guess which, guess.
Oh yeah, see that's a Prime Video, though that cover looks interesting. There's actually a lot of Bloodbound books here.
That's just,
Here's Bound by Blood. Now that's a cover.
bound to the passion.
Hold on, what is this? Book?
I love how the straight man in the room just went, now that's a cover.
Book, I know, right? Book number 1 in the Called Anne series. Called Anne? I don't know. I love this. New York Times bestselling author Tracy Jane Jackson writing as Piper Davenport.
What the fuck?
Okay, I'm not an author, but I thought the idea of having like
A pen name?
a pen name was so that people didn't know who the fuck you were.
It's me, Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man. Like, what the fuck? I love that.
Oh.
Oh, man, I want his armbands because I know he bought them on Wish for $2.
Do people actually buy things on Wish?
Oh,
Like
fuck,
not
all
for
the
a
time.
gag?
All the time. I used to.
I don't
be
understand the
one
point of
their
Wish.
biggest- So, if you want cheap shit and you want to wait 2 months before you see it, you could pay I used to buy piercings off of it. I don't really buy anything off of it now, but I used to be a huge customer. I used to buy cosplay wigs, cosplays, outfits and stuff, pieces. I didn't really buy the full outfits because I didn't trust that shit. But their wigs were super nice. Their makeup was okay. Lots of my shit got lost in the mail. I don't know if I trust their sex toys.
Lost Under Space says Wish is great, like random surprises in the mail.
Exactly.
Like
'cause
the
you forget that
coronavirus.
oh my god. Holy shit.
Well, because isn't it like isn't it all? I'm assuming that all this cheap shit's coming from China.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Okay, so
That
here's
one's lemon flavored.
is it actually lemon or is it
Yeah.
like pea?
Look, lemon.
All right.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Hey, I'm just,
We're out of Kev Cat's chaos corner. I'm
Okay.
not trying to fuck you over now.
I appreciate it.
And also, here's the last black pepper one because I love you.
Well, you can rock the black pepper. I don't need another one.
I'm good. What's the
Okay,
word?
so this is Patricia Briggs, and the book is Bloodbound.
Ooh.
Now,
Okay.
That's also a cover.
That is
You've for our
Amazing.
listeners, you have got a woman standing.
the
She's pretty.
hottest woman.
She's pretty hot. She's
Covered
she's
in
tatted
tattoos.
up on. She's got sleeves on both arms. She's got something under her belly button. She's got a whole chest thing going on. Is that a bat?
It's a bat with the face of a demon.
It is a
Like-
bat with the face of a demon. She's holding a wrench.
And I just want her to step on my face.
There are. You want her to sit on your face?
I said step. Jesus, fuck. I'm in a relationship. Non-sexual kink play is okay.
Well,
but
she doesn't actually exist, so I think you're fine.
Not fair.
There
You
are.
don't know that.
Well,
My wife
I'm-
could be real.
I'm guessing. There are vampire bats. Well, I have to assume they're vampires. There are bats in the background. There are tons of bats.
I don't know. They're actually giving me non-binary vibes.
Okay.
Look at that shit.
She's holding a wrench. She's in like a tire yard. She's surrounded by tires and like I don't know what this is over on the side, like some kind of mechanical something or other. I don't know. I don't do machines. Donatello does machines. I don't do machines.
He does machines?
Yeah.
He fucks the car?
No,
No, I'm kidding.
that was in the cartoon. Donatello does machines. Anyway, so what is this about? So I think she's a vampire mechanic, or she's a mechanic that only services vampires. So if you're Dracula and your car breaks down, she's who you take it to.
Okay. Hell yeah. All right.
And I don't know. I have a feeling she has a dark past.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, yeah, this is actually really hard because like I have a bunch of ideas. She could maybe be like, have you ever seen Gossip Girl?
I actually have seen a couple episodes of it.
I did not mean to say Gossip Girl. I meant to say, God, what the hell is it called? Lost Girl?
I have not seen Lost Girl.
Okay. She's like a succubus that like works for the good side, but she is a fae that's technically dark, and she like requires stealing the life force from other people and having sex with them to live.
Like you do.
But she usually gets consent for it. But I'm getting vibes like that from here. Like maybe she is like a high-ranking bad bitch on the bad side, but she works for the good side unapologetically.
Keeping their cars and trucks in proper working order.
Yo, dog, she got a wolf print right on her like
Right,
stomach right there.
Yeah,
underneath
right
her
between the
navel.
stomach and the
Belt
naughty
line.
bits. So
So I'm gonna say werewolf. Wait, hold up.
wait, she is a werewolf, or
She's like
maybe a werewolf is her significant other?
maybe she's a boss bitch that like doesn't fuck with the race war, the species war that's going on.
Okay.
I think that'd be kind of dope. Also, I want her fucking shirt. So goddamn motherfucking bad. Look at that shit.
I mean, it's a cool
It's
shirt,
a
but
nice color.
it's a nice color, but I think it's just like kind of a basic button-up shirt.
You take
Like,
that back.
not that I'm saying that that's bad. What I'm saying is that's probably attainable for you.
Fair.
I think you
Fair.
could find this shirt.
Except for I just dressed like a bowling alley manager that like doesn't know how to match patterns. I'm wearing
Hey, my best
red
friend is a
plaid
bowling alley
pants
manager.
right now. Oh, that's dope. That's dope as shit.
Yeah, he enjoys it. So that's all that matters to
I
me.
love bowling alleys.
So yeah, so those are our takes on this particular book. Let's see what it actually
read
is.
it?
Yeah.
Yay!
So this is okay. Well, of course you get the short one.
Yes. Oh, I almost fucking.
No, you're good.
Mechanic Mercy Thompson has friends in low places and dark ones. Wow. And now she owes one of them a favor. Since she can shapeshift as well, of course. Why couldn't she?
Like you do.
She agrees to act as some extra muscle when her vampire friend Stefan goes to deliver a message to another of his kind. But this new vampire is hardly ordinary. And neither is the demon inside of him. This is definitely just describing her walking in on a vampire and a demon fucking. But no, this actually sounds kind of like something I would super read.
Wait, is she
honestly.
fucking a demon or does she fuck like a
No.
demon?
No, she walks in on a demon fucking a vampire.
Oh, okay.
She-
Because I'd
I
be
guess.
okay with fucking like a demon.
I just want her to be a lesbian. There's too much. There's too much.
Well, this
Or
is
at least a bisexual.
this is
like,
book 2 of this series, so maybe in book 3 she goes full on lesbo.
maybe she's been a lesbian since book 1, and they're just like, we don't feel the need to mention it because duh.
Because she's not defined by.
Her sexuality.
Yep.
Exactly, because that's what we need. Also, can we talk about fucking queer baiting for a second? I'm sorry. So
Absolutely.
on TikTok, I don't know how I got to this, but
That's
just
okay.
follow me. But on TikTok, there's like trends of like, there's a song that goes, ooh yeah, I think I'm catching feelings. And straight guys will like have their friend like bend down in front of them. And then they'll be like, oh, I think I'm catching feelings, like for their bro.
Uh-huh.
Or they'll like make out with their bro on camera or whatever. And it's definitely not actually something they're into. And then, like, apparently some of them have started getting gay bashed for it. And it's like,
What?
first of all, you're queer baiting. Second of all, it must suck to actually experience what you're just using to get popular off of. Like, the actual struggles of the people who do live that lifestyle and, like, sometimes have to face that actual shit. Because right under those videos, I see videos of people, like... So let me give you a little bit of backstory before I say this. A lot of people are using TikTok as almost like a way to create evidence and keep it safe, like in certain situations.
Evidence of what?
Depends on the situation, because I saw one girl, and I'm not gonna like give too many details to try and like make someone's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw one person who was talking to their mom, and their mom was like just being terrible and kicking them out and like talking down to them and abusing them emotionally, like on camera.
Hmm.
And like there's so many people who do that. They just quickly open TikTok and start recording so that they have proof that's posted instantly and is accessible and everything. And
It seems to be a strange use for a social media platform, but
it's so the thing is, TikTok is not just like YouTube or like something that would be made specifically for people who are trying to create just creative videos or something to make people laugh. It's also just a personal like platform where people will just get really into their emotions and really like open, and they can connect with each other on it. And it sometimes those videos blow up, and sometimes just a couple of people see them, but it's still people feel safe enough to reach out and talk about shit that you normally wouldn't talk about on social media.
there does seem, at least from the outside looking in, because as of this moment, I still don't have a TikTok account. It definitely seems to be a place where people feel more comfortable being more vulnerable.
Yeah.
That because of the immediacy of the platform,
Yeah.
that there's a certain amount of comfort there with the vulnerability that you know you haven't really seen with like Instagram or YouTube or these other systems.
So the algorithm has changed recently, so like people's videos are getting less views and stuff, but the second you post a video, it goes to a like certain amount of people right away on their For You page. And if they watch it the whole way through or like it or comment on it, then it gets shown to more people.
Sure.
And I think the algorithm changed to where it's less that. Like if you get enough in the first hour, they'll keep like circulating it somewhat through the tags that people like follow on the For You page.
Sure. Well, they're trying to make sure that people aren't gaming the system too. I'm sure that
Yeah.
there's a degree of that.
100%. But the algorithm they had before was better, because then people like, if somebody liked it and somebody else was following a tag that your video had in it, then it would show up on their page right away. And then it would just go and go and go and go until it stopped getting traction. So, I don't, like, the point of me bringing this up was queer baiting and, like, how it's so prevalent on it, because the community in TikTok is so, like, there seems to be a huge side that's just LGBT. Like, I know I'm kind of in my bubble, like, because that's the shit that I like on TikTok, so
Sure.
that's the shit I see a lot. But that's also what kind of blows up. And when people see that, the straight people try and start to mimic it so that they can get more views and stuff. And I'm like, that's super duper gross. Like, why?
It's a little bit like it's kind of like a 21st century version of like cultural appropriation, right? They're like, this is popular with the LGBT kids, and that allows more people to see it. So I'm going to pretend to be like this so I can get the same amount of attraction.
And it's for like, so there are straight girls that think that gay guys and like bi guys are so hot, and they'll follow them and they'll be like, oh, it's so cute, and they get that instant clout off of that. So they think, if I can convince these people that I am queer, even though I'm definitely not, by like, I don't know, making out with a homie, not really, very obviously not actually making out with a homie.
Yeah.
But like, on that same note, one of my favorite fucking videos on it is like this dude walking around and he's like going up to his friends and be like, yo, is kissing your homies gay? And they go, nah. And he goes, give me a kiss. And they kiss him on the cheek and he goes, thank you. And then moves on. And it's the fucking cutest fucking video I've ever goddamn seen.
But it's about the intention behind it, right? Like you know what they're doing and you understand the context of it. So it's different.
There's a difference between friendship intimacy and pretending to be gay for clout. Because I'll kiss my friends that I'm not sexually attracted to because I fucking love my friends because your friend's 2020. You should. Show physical, personal affection to those you genuinely, intimately care about, whether it's romantic intimacy or other kinds. I think that's super duper dope. But don't fake any intimacy just so that you can get clout when it's something that you have no part in, you have no interest in that, and you try to like, oh, I'm romantically attracted to other men because it makes me look cool. I don't do that. Love your friends because you love your friends. Like the spooning videos, those are great. They'll like sardine into a mattress with like 6 of them.
But don't be gay for pay. Don't say that you're gay just because there's something in it for you.
Right. Now, if it comes to sex work, that's on you. Like,
right.
That's your choice. If you want to be gay for pay, more power to you.
Yeah, good times. So on that note, it's 10 o'clock. I think this is a good point to sort of wrap things up. Kevcat, where can people hear you and see you?
They can hear me. Hang on, I'm dying.
No dying.
They can hear me every Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Live at NoCo.fm. Man, I just got this like sultry voice. I'm leaning into it.
You're very sultry.
Thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, and maybe next week I'll have Kill Sky on the episode. Hopefully, I'm gonna reach out to her and we're gonna see if we can get that to work. And then also, if you are in the northern Colorado area, February 28th, I'm going to be playing Rocky in Rocky Horror Picture Show. And there's going to be a very fun surprise at the beginning of that show for anyone who attends.
Nice.
So, yeah, check that shit out. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you, too.
I love you.
I love you.
Would you like a happy little tree?
I would love a happy little tree. It's very happy and very little, very blue and very pointy.
And very much not flavored like vomit.
Yes, which is probably its most important attribute, at least for tonight. So, friends, we do this show every-ish week. I didn't get to really talk about why we didn't do it last week, but that's okay. That'll keep.
I mean, I feel like people will understand. Like, mental health shit happens, weather shit happens.
It was 100%, at least for me, a mental health thing. I had a very bizarre day last Monday, and I spent the whole day trying to work up the energy to do the show, and it just wasn't happening. So, yeah, short version, there we go. But we do this every Monday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Pacific. It's live on YouTube, on Twitch, on the NoCo FM live stream, which you can see at noco.fm. I'll put it up on the screen here.
Oh, hell yeah.
NoCo.fm, our live radio stream is running 24 hours a day, music during the day, our original shows at night. What kind of original shows do you ask? Well, we got Two Dudes and a Chick. We got Boys Built Better. We got Caller Radio. We got Connecting a Better World. You can see all of these wonderful shows that we do. Chances are we are doing a show that you would be into. If you're into feminist culture, if you're into LGBTQ music, if you're into D&D and tabletop gaming, if you're into improving your life, if you're into punk rock music, we have got something for everyone. So check it out. NoCo.fm or grab the NoCo FM mobile app which is available on iOS and Android for free. Lets you listen to the stream and all of our podcasts from wherever you are, just like it's the 21st century. Works in your car and everywhere you can listen to stuff. So, with that said, this show is also available as a podcast. So, in case you are watching this on a delay or listening to this on a delay, the podcast is available Tuesday mornings, and it is available on YouTube right after the live show ends. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, do all those wonderful things.
Fight me.
Fight
Do it.
CavCat.
Do it, you fucking coward.
And if you enjoy what we're doing, sign up for or consider tossing in a buck or two on our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/NoCoFM. We are trying to build an independent platform for the underserved, for minorities, for the underrepresented among us, which is most of us, because the billionaires don't control everything. So, you know, if you're able to and it appeals to you, maybe chip in a buck and, you know, show us some love that way.
Toss a coin to your witchers.
Toss a
Oh,
coin.
Valley of Plenty.
Yes, those things. So, Charles will be back next week, ostensibly. But Donatello has been doing a wonderful job holding down the fort.
He's honestly been so good.
He's been really good. I mean,
What a good boy.
yeah, he's a good boy. But, you know, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching and listening and chatting with us. We hope you have a wonderful week, and we can't wait to see you next Monday.
Can't wait. I can't wait. Throw a chicken. Do it.
What?
Just throw. You ever played Zelda? Throw a fucking chicken, dog.
Oh. I was like, what chicken?
Throw a cock. Toss a cock. Toss a cock. I'm gonna make a new game.